So this is the new soap cutter. It's for 1-inch bars, and it has this type of frame that I'm going to show you after I'm ready to cut my soaps. Here is the new Essential Depot soap cutter, the revolutionary Essential Depot red soap cutter. These are the instructions. No assembly required. So I just got this one brand new. I haven't even opened it. I can show you the other style to compare. This one's a little dirty, so don't mind that. My other one is clean. It's at my other workstation right now, but this is the style of the other one where your loaf has to fit within the bars. But the cool thing about this one is if you're using a long mold, it doesn't have to fit in the bars because of the way it goes up. So just to compare really quick, they are the same exact length. So your Essential Depot molds will fit right in there either way. But if you also use longer molds, then you would want this one. And if you use this size and shorter, then you could go for this one. But this one's cool because you never know what kind of molds you're going to get in the future. So if you ever end up getting long ones or long slabs where you cut into logs and all of that. So if you're not sure which one to get, really it's, are you going to always work with shorter soap loaf molds, or are you going to eventually move on to longer ones? And, so this makes it easier, because if the loaf were too long, say the loaf were this long, then, or, you can't see. Let's try that again. If your loaf were this long, then you'd have to cut off like this much of it before you could fit it into this cutter, whereas this cutter, you could put it right in and then cut it and then slide it over and cut it again. So I'm going to open this up, but first I need to unmold my soap, so I'll be right back. Sometimes this is a tight squeeze getting these round soap molds out. But I try to use cocoa butter or a hard formula, and that seems to help with getting these round ones out. Yay, time to unwrap it. Woo! Look at that, nice and clean. Brand new, ready to get it all dirty. I'm gonna start with this one, with the square loaf, and this is an organic soap that I made yesterday, and it is scented with eucalyptus and spearmint. Essential oils. All right. Okay. So I'll go ahead and show you a swirl inside of these. That's what it looks like. So it just kind of has some green and mostly white. And I really like this smell. Okay. So before I'm kind of in a little wobbly part of the table, so I'm just gonna move it over just a little bit for the next cut, because I think it may have just kind of affected that a little bit. Cut the circle one from the cylinder mold. Okay, it looks like I have it lined up the way it's supposed to be. And I'll give it a little cut here. Oop, I'm still in the little weird part of the table, but I did a better job cutting that time. Alright, let's see how these turned out. And this has kind of less of a swirl than the other ones. And I did this one a little bit different because you pour in from the top. So I just did it in the pot swirl with very little green, and the other one I had poured in some and turned it with a whisk. So there's some random green coloring, but mostly white on the soap. And it pretty much turned out how I expected. S for soap. Or you could turn it this way. That's a better S. Yay, soap! When you order it, it comes with the instructions. You have cutting your loaves, cutting your soap, racking your soap, adjusting the tension on your cutting frame. So it gives you all the specifications you need that you would need to know about this. So thank you for watching. And if you are interested in this, you can find it at essentialdepot.com. If you're interested in my soaps, you can go to Good Earth Spa. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Today I'm making a new organic soap made with all certified organic carrier oils, and then the eucalyptus and spearmint will be the scent. It'll be about 95% organic. This is the loaf mold from Essential Depot, and this one will be for the extra. I have plenty of extra in the batch, so I'm hoping to get several of the round bars too. I have a green colorant, which is a aqua mica, which is a great color for eucalyptus and spearmint. And after I color the whole batch white with some titanium dioxide, I'm going to swirl in some of this color to just kind of have a little bit of a green swirl in there too. This is some oil dispersible titanium dioxide. And I want to mix this in before I add the lye. And that way it will be very well dispersed. Now my oil looks like this. I'm going to section some off and color it with the green mica that I showed you earlier. Sprinkle some in like this. I spilled a little bit. This is like a nice toothpaste colored. And I'm going to put some of this sort of aqua toothpaste-ish color into here. And then I'm going to just swirl it in. You'll see. Just kind of put it in wherever. And I have this is a whisk attachment for my other blender, and I'm just going to use this to put it in like that, just to give it a little bit of a swirl, kind of break it up just a tiny bit. And hopefully we end up with a cool looking soap, so I don't know. It won't be pure white, but it will have a little bit of this kind of toothpaste color in it. And I'll do the same thing but in the pot, and then I'll just pour it right in. So I'll do that now. So there we go. Just kind of go through and move it around. It's going to mix up when you pour a little bit too, so it doesn't need to be mixed too much, or else it'll just kind of all blend and bleed together, which it might do anyway. We'll see. And then I'm just going to pour this in. I'm just so good at measuring. In fact, this whole batch size was one big guess on how much I would need to do both molds. So I didn't think I was actually going to fill this one up all the way, but I did. So there we go. Now I get to get this circle soap out of the mold game. Tomorrow I'm going to cap this. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll get cutting.